Hello and welcome to Beau Hannam Guitars and Ukuleles. Today I wanted to talk about changing your mind years later on something or anything. So on this instrument I had put the backstrip in with ebony and white black years ago, like probably at least 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I had used a maple white, which is a different color to what I use now, which is a white fiber, and you can see the difference here. So this is the maple white. So this, and this is the fiber. And so what I wanted to show you what I did and how I changed the maple from maple to fiber. So I've got glue on my fingers and I can't like do the iPhone thing. So that all went well, obviously. And I have this back, which I had had done this about probably I can't remember, like 5, maybe 6 years ago. I just had this back laying around, and this has got it's got everything that I don't want anymore. It has the maple for the white, and it's got this beef wood, which I don't want to use anymore. Then it's got this kind of, it's fairly well executed, apart from there's a few little unclean bits here, but I just don't like the shape anymore. I don't think it works. So I'm going to show you on this what I did on this instrument. But I'm going to do a little bit of a different technique, or 2 different techniques, because I didn't have to change the actual ebony in this. I just had to change the white, but with this one I have to change everything. I'm going to actually change the beef wood to ebony. So let me show. The first thing you need to do, well, this is what I did on the other uke, just to change the white. I sharpened this up so it became a scraper. I just made sure this point was sharp, and I did that with some 220 or 320, whatever, yeah, 320. So just to get that outer curve, and then I used a round file just to clean up inside. And then I used it as a scraper, and it was very effective. And I will show you right now. I'll try and zoom in as much as I can. So you need a good ruler, and so you can see I'm outside the line, coming in I lose the black and then I'm hitting the white. So for this I want to keep the black. So I'm going to just come in just enough to, actually I'm going to do the entire back in one stroke, so it's a nice even clean line, but I won't be able to show you the entire thing. I'm just going to put some sandpaper on the back, just so it kind of doesn't slide quite as much around. So I'm just moving it up until I lose that black. Okay, so then I just start scraping. It's probably a better idea to double side tape the ruler down, or clamp it down or something, but I like to live life clampless. And so, that's working as a scraper should. And you just have to pay a little more attention to the ends. Your starting position, I found you have to go the other way, just to get a little bit of depth. You don't want to go too far because this back is only about 80 thou thick. So that's probably about 1 mil deep, which is good. And just to show you this next part, what I'm doing is I've just got a bit of 20 thou thick white fibre, and just after you cut it, it's always a bit flared out on the edge that you cut, but so that's fitting in nicely, nice enough to stay there when I do that. And if I show you from this angle, you can see the result. So not much work to change from a maple to whatever else. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'll do the other side the same way, and then I'm going to route the middle part out. I could use a chisel, like a 1/8 chisel. I could even use a dog leg chisel if I ground this down. This is about 5 mil wide. which is too much or too wide. But I think the best and easiest way to do this is just going to be to clamp a straight edge onto here and then to just run a Dremel down here, just, you know, very thin, like a mil, and we'll see how that goes. I've not done this on the job before. Normally I do this, any, you know, back inlay work before I glue any back braces on, and obviously before I put the back on. But you know, this minds change in, you know, 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 years. I may have even done this back in Australia before I moved to America. But yeah, I know it's going to work, and I'm not worried about it not working. So I will, well, I might as well show. Just hiding that black with the edge of the ruler, because I want to keep that black. And that sandpaper that I put on the ruler is actually really helpful. Just pay attention to how deep you're going, because there is a possibility that you could just score all the way through this back, and that would be, well, that would be devastating. That would be the end of this back. So I'm just observing how deep I've gone, and it looks good. It's not deep just there though. When you're scraping different, yeah, this is going from bird's eye maple to black to, and I think this black is a fibre, then it's going to soft maple and then beef wood, so the density is kind of all over the place. Sharpen up the scalpel tip. Another thing I'm going to have to do is to score the black from here to here and here to here, because obviously the black stops, unless I did some sort of wider inlay or something here, but I don't want to. I just want to have it continuous. But you know, joining up black to black is, that's easy to do invisibly. joining maple to maple invisibly is much trickier. So that's looking good. And I'll try and show you the depth of how far I've gone down. Where is it? So, sorry for the shaky camera, it's just really hard to film this, but it's it's just the bottom of this is kind of about there and there, and this is the width of the top, the back. So it's about half the thickness, so it's about 1 mil, because this is 2 mil. So that's a safe area to be in. So now I'm going to, I'll scrape this area just for the blacks, and then I will get out the Dremel. So I'm just cutting into the black here, so I can join this black and this black up. I'm just doing a pre-cut with a scalpel, just extending it a little bit. And then scraping the rest like I've already done on this side. And I'm going into the existing black a little bit too. And using that scalpel will just ensure that I've got a somewhat clean edge or side to the black. This bird's eye maple is a bit troublesome. Yeah, it's gonna work. And I'll try and, yeah, you can see it there. Still looking pretty ugly, but once it's all done, this is going to be an invisible just realised my microphone wasn't on. So this is still looking, pretty ugly like that. But once this has been remedied, there wasn't actually anything wrong. It was just like a change of mind. But once I've done what I'm going to do, it'll be an invisible alteration. Yeah, alteration. It's a better word for this than fix. Okay, now with the Dremel. Okay, so I mentioned that I was going to put a straight edge on here. I was just looking at it, and I can do that. I would turn this on the side, so it'd be this way, and then clamp it down, but I'm just going to freehand it. I've set the depth to 1 mil, about, which I'll zoom in and show you. sure if that's showing. So that's just the depth of the existing back strip. So I will just go ahead and do this. If you're starting out, don't do it this way. It's, you know, it's a recipe for disaster. But I've been doing this for ages and pretty sure I can do it. But this isn't a customer order. And I've got another back, so it's not the end of the world if this completely dies, but I just don't think it will, because I've freehanded with a Dremel a lot, and it's usually very, very safe. So I'll try and give you a better view of this. No problems there. It's a Dremel is pretty darn stable. So if I turn this way, you can see that I've just gone straight down the center. there's a little bit of a loop here, which, how am I going to do this? There's a little bit of wood that I have to remove here, which I'll do with a chisel. And then I can just add a white and an ebony strip, and this will be looking fantastic. I also have to join up this black here. So this black to this black. At the moment that's just maple and maple. But apart from that, that's anything I've got to do. Just have to, clean up the little bits and prepare this cavity, and then decide whether I want to, how I want to go about it. I can either glue the whites in first on either side and then the black, or join the white to the black inside part and inlay it all together. I'm not sure what's going to be easiest. Actually, there is a third way which I just thought of, and it's it's probably the easiest actually after I've done all this, but you just think of these as you go along, and this is supposed to be an instructional thing, and I think it's good to understand and hear the thought process of somebody who does this for a living. The other way to do this would have been to inlay a black just over the whole thing, and then with the first method that I showed you, just scrape in 2 lines for the white, or the whites on either side, and that could be the best option. I only just thought about that now. But we shall see. I'll leave you in suspense until the next part.